Hello everyone, it's Shane Kanto, your Wasteland reviewer, and I'm here to review Here Are the Young Men, and this is from writer-director Eoin Macken, and this is an Irish film about three young men who, one is your pretty standard teenage boy, you have a nihilistic one, and also a complete demented, disgusting, sociopathic monster of a teenage boy who run out from school. They spray paint like giant dicks in a classroom, chuck a desk out a window, destroy a teacher's car, who's played by Ralph Ineson, who's in this film just a little bit, but welcomed. And they go out and just do whatever the hell they want. They just start living their lives exactly how they think they want to live their lives. And you have at the center here, you have Matthew, who's our main character, played by Dean Charles Chapman, who was in Blinded by the Light, and most notably in 1917. And he's kind of our conduit here. He's the one that we're living through. And he definitely has angst. He definitely has this rebellious nature to him. But he feels like he's being pushed a little bit into this by his friends. And you have him trying to balance. He has this thing for this young woman, played by Anya Taylor-Joy, who's wonderful, as always, in everything. And they have this connection with each other. They get physical. It's not exactly an easy relationship here. Because the thing is, Matthew's kind of volatile. He is angsty, he is emotional, he takes things to heart, he lashes out. You see him lashing out on Taylor-Joy's character quite a few times, and you have that relationship. And then he has his dynamic with his friends, and you have the young man who led Sing Street in Ferdia Walsh-Peelo, who plays Rez, who's this nihilistic, down kind of young man who's suicidal, who has issues with trying to keep his relationships, and you see that darker side of it. And then you have Finn Cole of Peaky Blinders fame, who is Kearney, who is a complete and utter bastard. And he's the one who chucks the desk out the window. He basically sets up somebody to die in the course of this film, and he does all these horrible things, and he wants nothing more to go off to America and become big, go in the military. He's fascinated by that. But you do get some layers to him because he has a very tumultuous relationship with his father, played by Varys himself, Conleth Hill, who they have some really intense moments that, Finn Cole is extremely intense and scary throughout this film. And there is a catalyst to a turn in this film in terms of the fate of somebody that really affects the three of them in all these different ways. And it really sets the tone for their just going all out, drinking and doing drugs and partying and just going through a spiral. And this film is really about Matthew, who's trying to press forward, and can he cut ties with this extremely toxic friend in Kearney. And Finn Cole is charismatic and just sinister in so many ways. And Macken, who's the director and the writer, adds some strange surrealist kind of things where it's like Finn Cole's character, Kearney, winds up being on this talk show and really getting this attention, and you have that as a vehicle to translate some of the themes of the film, some of the ideas, the internal place that a lot of these characters are at. That goes through there, and it's interesting. It could veer you off a little bit. This film could be a bit excessive in what it's trying to portray, and a lot of the times it's hard to connect with any of our three young men, and it could be a little isolating and distant for the audience, even if it's there's very obviously, like, Matthew's supposed to be the good one, but there's some dark stuff about him. Visually, though, this film has great use of music, fantastic use of music. Its soundtrack is strong. It has a very distinct look to it. It has like an edgy kind of tint to everything. And that really works for this film. And the performances are all in. Finn Cole is unbelievable. Anya Taylor-Joy is fantastic. And this film builds up to some horrible, horrific things. And there's scenes in here that are really hard to watch. And overall, I think Here Are the Young Men is a powerful and ambitious Irish film here. It might be a little too ambitious. Things might not always click. And some of the more surrealist kind of things that it tries to incorporate don't always click. But this is raw, it's emotional, and it's poignant. And that's why this is definitely worth checking out. But those are my thoughts on Here Are the Young Men. Let me know what you think, and let's talk some movies. But thank you as always for tuning in and supporting your Wasteland reviewer.